The Ike Dike would be the biggest public works project in the nation.
The Ike Dyke, that project coming with a $31 billion price tag.
Once built, officials say the Ike Dike could last between 80 to 100 years.
Situated in the south-central region of the United States, at an area of 268,596 square miles, and with a population of more than 30 million in 2023, Texas is the second largest U.S. state, not only due to its area, but also because of its population. Texas is famous for its huge state, big cars, and food. There is an old saying that everything is bigger in Texas. So if you have a look at various constructions, like stadiums, parks, everything is massive, taking billions of dollars. Moreover, Texas is one of the states that broke all records of real estate in the past. But unfortunately, due to climate change, the hurricanes and storms that Texas often face are getting stronger, causing much destruction. In this video, we will talk about the $31 billion megaproject of Texas intended to save its coast through hurricanes. Yes, you have heard it right. It will cost $31 billion. This is going to be one of the biggest projects. Yeah, a really big project. But a project that will cost is even worth it. What will happen if the construction is not completed in time? What will be the consequences of seawall on life underwater? If all these questions are now popping into your mind, then make sure to watch these videos till the end. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to turn on the notification and click on subscribe button so you never miss any updates. In June of 2022, the United States Congress passed a bill authorizing federal agencies to begin planning for a $31 billion megaproject along the coast of Texas. The project design is also known as Ike Dike, after Hurricane Ike, which destroyed the Galveston area of Texas back in 2008. So what exactly Ike Dike is? Ike Dike is a name given to a program to cover the Texas coastline, for providing good protection against any kind of storm. And all this is expected to cost whopping $31 billion. For sure, it's a lot of money. To date, the seawall is intended to be built in a way that will protect Galveston, Galveston Bay, and Houston from future storms. It's clear that the nation's oil capital now has to spend billions and billions of dollars to safeguard itself from hurricanes. The state has Houston, Austin, and Dallas, and all are major cities. But there is an important place that was the Texas metropolis in the 19th century called Galveston. Several important ports are located in Galveston. As I've mentioned, Texas was hit by a strong hurricane back in 2008. Bill Merrill was stranded on the second floor of a building with his wife and daughter. Gusts of more than 110 miles per hour were shaking the building. The storm ended, leaving many dead, and with a loss estimated to be worth $30 billion. It was considered to be the worst storm in 100 years, which stretched across 15 miles. And that's why Merrill, a physical oceanographer at Texas A&M University in Galveston, started thinking and designing a seawall that could solve the Texas problem. I know after something happens in our lives, or if we want to do something, we often have a boost of 3 a.m. ideas, but we are not able to execute them. But this man took the idea to another level, as it was the start of a unique design of a seawall aiming to stop high waves through massive gates. So why is it still not developed? Well, even though Merrill designed a remarkable seawall, but first it was denied by every single person in the government. Many were concerned about the cost of the seawall. Some of them were criticized as it was unclear how it will not further cause an environmental crisis. But Merrill was keen that he could make things happen. He started taking advice from the academics at Delft University, and eventually, he started gathering support from local communities and several business companies and politicians. In 2014, the government and the United States Army Corps of Engineers got together and investigated the Ike Dike project and others that could solve the problem of the coast. After some modifications to the project, it was presented to the United JB States Congress, where it got approval. The Seawall project got funding from Joe Biden's new $2 trillion bill. The aim of this was to spend on national infrastructure, and projects that save the coasts were given funding as a priority based on this bill. So construction at Galveston Bay is an easy plan. It may seem easy, but construction at Galveston Bay to stop storms is not a simple task. The bay is sheltered from the ocean by 2 sandy strips of land. and there is a passage of boulevard roads between Galveston Island and Boulevard Peninsula. And when water starts rushing through the gap, it surges into the bay, and the ocean continues to rise. Thus, it seems like it demands an hour to have a quick solution and a project that will make a difference. Experts believe that Ike Dyke may work pretty well in the scenario, but it's very early to make a statement. But what's the update about the design and construction of the seawall? If we look at the construction designed by Bill Merrill, it will have massive sets of gates across boulevard roads. And in case of a storm when the water level will rise, 2 navigation gates will swing out of dry docks closing the channel. And these are not going to be some ordinary gates or barriers like Vince is using, but each gate will be 82 feet high with 22 feet above the water. You will be surprised that these giants are twice the size of a football field, thus with a width of 650 feet. These 2 gates are not the only ones in the design. 2 smaller swing gates and a set of vertical lift gates are also present. In times when there is no emergency of storm or hurricane, these will remain open to let the normal flow of tides. Experts believe when these gates will be closed with the 2 giant gates during any emergency condition, it will reduce the surge in Galveston Bay by approximately 30 to 60%. Sure, if this happens, it will surely make a huge difference. There is another plan after the analysis of hurricane intensity. The creation of 2 parallel lines of dunes is under consideration. That would run 43 miles along the Boulevard Peninsula and the western side of Galveston. But during storms of increased intensity, these dunes will not work efficiently. That's the reason additional barriers are to be added in the area. Even in the bay, Clear Lake and Dickinson will have several barriers and pumping stations. In the south, it is planned to add barriers along 100 miles to prevent storms. Moreover, promoters of the Seawall project are also keen to restore the environment by creating wetlands and creating an environment friendly for species of that area. Even though the idea seems to be great, the seawall to save Galveston Bay has been in the pipeline for about 15 years. And what consequences Texas will face in the future if this project remains incomplete? Simply with the massive and excessive storms, there will be the destruction of infrastructure and buildings, and coastal erosion will worsen the condition. Moreover, business and tourism will be affected by all this. Most importantly, the beaches will disappear. Moreover, due to the vulnerability of the area, most people will refrain from investing in the areas that will surely damage the economy in the long term. Without a doubt, it's clear that Ike Dyke will make a difference. And these kinds of big projects are critical for the USA as climate change is worsening at a pace faster than we could handle. Thus, a scheme like this needs an hour when we look at the damage in 2008. And it shows how vulnerable the world's biggest economy is when it's not fully prepared. In the end, we could only hope that when the next storm hits Texas, it's ready to face it. Wrapping up my video here, I hope now you know how this seawall is intended to strengthen the coast of Texas. Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comment section regarding this project. What do you think? Is it worth it to spend $31 billion on a seawall? Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends.